Beneath the frozen surface of Antarctica, where sunlight filters through the ice in shimmering beams of blue and green, another master of the frozen world makes its home. If you were to drill through 6 feet of solid ice and peer down into the dark water below, you might catch a glimpse of a large, spotted form gliding past. This is the Weddell seal, one of the southernmost dwelling mammals on Earth and a creature so adapted to life in the ice that it spends most of its existence in near freezing water, surfacing only to breathe through holes it carves in the ice with its own teeth. While emperor penguins dominate the surface of the Antarctic ice, Weddell seals rule the waters below. They're found further south than any other seal species, living year-round along the coast of Antarctica and never migrating away from the ice. Where other animals flee the Antarctic winter, the Weddell seal remains, perfectly content in an environment that would kill most mammals within minutes. Their story is one of remarkable physiological adaptation and an intimate relationship with the ice itself. The Weddell seal is a substantial animal, built for life in the cold. Females, which are larger than males, can reach lengths of 11 feet and weigh up to 1,200 pounds. That's roughly the size of a small car. Males are slightly smaller, typically weighing around 900 pounds. Their body is rotund and torpedo-shaped, covered in a thick layer of blubber that can be up to 4 inches deep. This blubber serves as both insulation and an energy reserve during the breeding season when seals may go weeks without eating. Their coat is strikingly beautiful. The base color ranges from dark gray to silvery gray on the back, lightening to cream or pale gray on the belly. But it's the pattern that makes each seal unique. Dark spots, blotches, and streaks create a mottled appearance that looks almost like a painter's canvas. No two Weddell seals have exactly the same pattern, making individuals identifiable to researchers who study them. In the water, this countershading provides camouflage, with the dark back blending into the depths below when viewed from above, and the pale belly disappearing against the bright ice when viewed from below. Their face has a gentle, almost dog-like quality, with large dark eyes that seem perpetually calm and contemplative. These eyes are specially adapted for underwater vision in low-light conditions. The pupils can dilate enormously, allowing maximum light to enter even in the dim world beneath the ice. Their whiskers, called vibrissae, are thick and sensitive, capable of detecting minute vibrations in the water. These help the seal locate prey and navigate in complete darkness. Perhaps most impressive are their teeth, which serve a purpose unlike those of any other seal. The upper and lower incisors and canines project forward at an angle, creating what looks almost like a built-in ice saw. These teeth allow Weddell seals to do something extraordinary. They maintain breathing holes in ice that can be 6 feet thick, abrading the ice from below to keep their lifelines open throughout the winter. If emperor penguins are masters of diving among birds, Weddell seals are absolute champions among mammals. They routinely dive to depths exceeding 2,000 feet, deeper than most submarines can safely travel. The deepest recorded dive for a Weddell seal reached an astounding 2,300 feet below the surface. At these depths, the pressure is crushing, more than 70 times what we experience at sea level. Yet the Weddell seal's body is built to withstand it. They can remain underwater for over 80 minutes, though most dives last between 20 and 40 minutes. During this time, they're holding their breath, swimming, hunting, and navigating in near total darkness. How do they accomplish this seemingly impossible feat? Their blood contains unusually high concentrations of hemoglobin and myoglobin, proteins that store and transport oxygen. A Weddell seal's blood can carry much more oxygen than a human's, and their muscles are packed with additional oxygen reserves. When they dive, their heart rate drops dramatically, a response called bradycardia. A resting Weddell seal's heart beats about 60 times per minute at the surface, but during a deep dive, this can slow to just 4 to 6 beats per minute. blood flow is redirected away from less vital organs and concentrated on the brain, heart, and muscles needed for swimming. Their lungs actually collapse during deep dives, pushing air into the rigid upper airways where gases can't be absorbed into the bloodstream. This prevents nitrogen from dissolving in the blood, protecting them from the condition human divers know as the bends. Their body temperature also adjusts during dives. The core remains warm, but blood flow to the flippers and skin is restricted, allowing these outer areas to cool down. This reduces heat loss to the frigid water. When they surface, blood flow returns, warming the extremities again. It's a sophisticated system of thermal regulation that allows them to stay active in water that's below freezing, kept liquid only by the salt content of the ocean. The most unique aspect of Weddell seal life is their relationship with breathing holes. During the Antarctic winter, the ocean surface freezes solid, creating a continuous sheet of ice that can extend for miles. For an air-breathing mammal, this presents an obvious problem. Without access to air, they would drown. But Weddell seals have solved this challenge in an ingenious way. They create and maintain their own breathing holes. Starting in autumn, before the ice becomes too thick, seals identify locations where they want to establish breathing holes. These are usually areas where natural cracks or thinner ice makes the initial work easier. Using their specialized forward projecting teeth, they begin the laborious process of abrading the ice from below. They swim up to the underside of the ice and scrape their teeth back and forth across it, grinding away the frozen surface bit by bit. This behavior comes at a significant cost. The constant grinding wears down their teeth, especially the incisors and canines. Older Weddell seals often have severely worn teeth, ground down almost to the gum line. Scientists believe this dental wear is one of the main factors limiting the lifespan of Weddell seals. When their teeth become too worn to effectively maintain breathing holes, they can no longer survive the winter beneath the ice. Most Weddell seals live about 20 to 30 years in the wild, though their potential lifespan might be longer if not for this tooth wear. A single Weddell seal typically maintains several breathing holes within its territory, sometimes as many as a dozen or more. This redundancy is crucial. If one hole freezes over or becomes blocked with snow, the seal has alternatives. The holes must be maintained constantly throughout the winter, as ice grows rapidly in the extreme cold. A seal might visit each hole several times per day, spending several minutes at each to scrape away new ice growth. Some breathing holes are located in tide cracks, where the ice flexes and opens with the movement of tides. These natural features make maintenance easier and provide larger spaces where seals can rest partially out of the water. In these locations, you might find several seals sharing the same breathing area, though each maintains its own specific hole. In September and October, spring arrives in Antarctica, and the Weddell seals prepare to breed. Unlike emperor penguins, which breed on the ice far from the ocean, Weddell seals give birth on the ice directly adjacent to their breathing holes. Pregnant females haul themselves out onto the ice, often choosing areas near stable tide cracks that provide reliable access to the water. The pups are born already equipped for life in the cold. A newborn Weddell seal weighs about 60 pounds and measures about 4 feet long. They're covered in a thick coat of woolly fur called lanugo, which is usually dark grey or brown. This first coat provides insulation during their first weeks of life, but it's not waterproof. The pups cannot enter the water until they've molted this baby fur and grown their adult coat, a process that takes about 6 to 7 weeks. The bond between mother and pup is intense during this period. The mother nurses her pup with milk that's extraordinarily rich, containing about 45 to 60% fat. That's more than 10 times richer than human milk. This high-fat diet allows the pup to grow at an astonishing rate, gaining 3 to 5 pounds every single day. By the time the pup is weaned at 6 to 7 weeks old, it will have more than doubled its birth weight. During the nursing period, the mother remains near her pup, staying close to the breathing hole. She makes regular dives to feed, but returns frequently to nurse. The pup's survival depends entirely on staying close to the breathing hole and waiting for its mother's return. If a pup wanders too far across the ice, it becomes vulnerable to predation or exposure. Male Weddell seals establish underwater territories around breathing holes during the breeding season. They produce an extraordinary variety of vocalizations underwater, creating sounds that have been described as chirps, whistles, trills, and even sounds resembling science fiction laser guns. These calls serve to advertise their presence to females and warn rival males away from their territory. The underwater acoustic environment around a Weddell seal colony during breeding season is a symphony of strange, otherworldly sounds that can be heard through the ice from above. Beneath the ice, Weddell seals are formidable predators. Their diet consists primarily of fish, with Antarctic cod, or toothfish, making up a significant portion of their meals. They also consume various species of smaller fish, squid, crustaceans, and bottom-dwelling creatures like octopus. An adult Weddell seal needs to consume about 60 pounds of food per day to maintain its body weight. And energy reserves, though during breeding season, lactating females may need considerably more. Their hunting strategy takes advantage of their superior diving ability. While many Antarctic fish remain near the bottom to avoid predators, Weddell seals can dive deep enough to access these prey. They hunt both during the day and at night, though their hunting patterns change with the seasons. During the summer months, when light penetrates the water, they rely more on vision to locate prey. In winter, beneath thick ice and with 24 hours of darkness, they depend more heavily on their sensitive whiskers and possibly echolocation to find food. Scientists have observed that Weddell seals often hunt by making deep dives to the ocean floor, then swimming along the bottom, investigating cracks and crevices where fish might hide. Their flexible body allows them to maneuver in tight spaces, and they can remain near the bottom for extended periods, conserving energy by resting between bursts of swimming. When they locate prey, they're capable of sudden acceleration, closing the distance before the fish can escape. Interestingly, Weddell seals show dietary preferences that vary by location. Seals in some areas consume more fish, while those in other regions eat more squid and invertebrates. This dietary flexibility is part of what allows them to thrive in different parts of Antarctica's coastal waters. They're opportunistic feeders, taking advantage of whatever prey is most abundant in their particular territory. Weddell seals are found all around the Antarctic continent, forming a circumpolar distribution that follows the coastline. They're the most southernmost dwelling mammal that breeds on the Antarctic continent itself, with colonies found at latitudes as far south as 77 degrees. Unlike many Antarctic species that migrate north in winter, Weddell seals remain in place year-round, making them true residents of the frozen continent. Scientists estimate the global population of Weddell seals at somewhere between 800,000 and 1 million individuals, making them one of the more abundant seal species in Antarctic waters. However, population estimates are challenging because these seals spend so much time beneath the ice, where they're difficult to observe and count. Most population surveys are conducted during the pupping season when seals haul out onto the ice and are more visible. The distribution of Weddell seals is closely tied to the presence of stable fast ice, the ice that's attached to the shore and remains relatively stable throughout the year. They prefer areas where this fast ice is adjacent to deep water, giving them easy access to hunting grounds while providing secure platforms for resting and pupping. Some of the largest known colonies are found in McMurdo Sound, Puer de Z Bay, and along the coast of the Weddell Sea, for which they're named. Despite their relatively healthy population numbers, Weddell seals face challenges from climate change. Warming temperatures are affecting the formation and stability of fast ice around Antarctica. If ice forms later in the season or breaks up earlier, it could impact breeding success and pup survival. Changes in ice conditions could also affect the distribution of prey species that Weddell seals depend on. Interestingly, Weddell seals have been studied more extensively than perhaps any other seal species, largely because they're accessible and relatively tolerant of human presence. Research stations in Antarctica, particularly McMurdo Station, have long-running study programs that have tracked individual seals for decades, providing insights into their behavior, physiology, and life history that would be impossible to obtain for more remote or aggressive species. As the Antarctic day draws on and the sun begins its long arc across the horizon, a Weddell seal surfaces at its breathing hole. Water streams off its whiskers as it takes a deep breath, its large eyes reflecting the blue of the ice surrounding it. In a moment, it will dive again, disappearing into the cold darkness below, where it will glide through a world few humans will ever see. Patient, powerful, and perfectly adapted, the Weddell seal continues its ancient rhythm beneath the ice, a testament to life's ability to flourish even in Earth's most extreme environments. But the waters around Antarctica hold other stories still. While the Weddell seal navigates the quiet depths beneath the ice, other hunters prowl these waters, creatures both graceful and fierce.